Hey all, welcome to week 3. Welcome back. Hopefully you had a good Thanksgiving holiday. So as we're heading into week 3, we are moving from thinking about our login systems to moving to thinking about writing code in Node and writing code in Electron. So Node is a environment outside of the browser where you can write and run JavaScript, which unlocks a lot of things like creating servers and creating scripts to help automate things on your computer. So one of the practice videos from this week, you'll learn about Node and you'll write your first Node code, and then we'll be stepping into Electron, which uses Node as part of its tool set. But Electron allows you to build desktop applications with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So with Electron, you'll be able to essentially create a desktop application that opens a mini browser on the user's desktop and runs your code within that environment. So those are the 2 practice assignments for this week. You have a feedback assignment where you're going to be going into teams and giving each other feedback on the initial brainstorms that you did last week for what you want to do for your final project in this class. And then there is a progress milestone for the final project in this class. And this is your first milestone for the final project. So week 3, you have this progress milestone. Week 4, you'll have another progress milestone. And then week 5, the last week, is when the full final project will be done. So for this week's milestone, which is 10% of that final project grade, we're just focused on planning and making some initial progress. So you'll be updating your Kanban board, updating your GitHub repository, and starting to work on your project. And last week we talked about project scope, so you're basically going to be creating custom hooks and a login system, which is material that we've covered in class, plus one other significant feature, and that's what you've brainstormed before, and I have suggestions of possible things that you could work on in that previous assignment, so go check that out. GitHub, you'll be making sure that you've got a public GitHub repository, whether that's a new one or the one that you used in the last code sprint. I don't care, as long as it's public and you commit and sync your work in there. You'll be creating your Kanban board, so you'll be thinking about those features, the custom hooks, the login system, and your other feature that you want to add to your application, and building out your Kanban board, so filling out your to-do track with all of the tasks that you think you'll need to complete in order to meet all of those requirements and build your features. So you need to have at least 6 cards in there. And then one thing that I want to point out is that things like building a login system are really big tasks that you want to break down into smaller tasks. So building a login system is like, well, I need to have an account React page, and then I need to have authenticated routes, and then I need to have et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So any of these features is really usually multiple tasks, multiple bite-sized tasks. And the more that you can break down your features into these bite-sized tasks, the easier it'll be to implement them. So you'll be building your Kanban board and then starting working on your project. So at this point, there's no formal requirement for what you need to do this week, other than I'm going to be looking at what you submit to me and looking to see about an hour of work at minimum on your project. And then the recommended task for this week would be to take that first requirement, the custom hooks, and start refactoring your project to use custom hooks. And that's something we did in the week 1 material, so you can always pop up that video, go through your code, start implementing some custom hooks, and working through getting those custom hooks working in your project. So whenever you finish whatever you're working on for this week, you'll commit and sync to GitHub, and then you'll be submitting a doc with all of these things. Your link to your board, your link to your repository, a summary of your work. And that's it for this week. So we're diving into Node Electron. We'll be diving deeper into them next week. And next week we'll have more time for working on final projects. And we didn't have a class meeting last Friday because of the holiday, but we will have that optional class meeting this week on Friday now that we're back from the holiday. So I'll see some of you there.